What's up, everybody? Welcome to a mini episode of the BREWtally Speaking Podcast, the official podcast of MetalNexus.net, where you can get all your show reviews, interviews, and so much more. I'm doing this solo. Basically, I went to Astronomicon a couple of months ago at this point, and while I thought I was going to get some interviews done and was pretty close to getting some cool ones, unfortunately, I was only able to get one done, which is the one you're about to hear, is with Ming Chen and Mike from Comic Book Men, and it's about, maybe 6 or 7 minutes, but unfortunately, with how busy the podcast has become and all the interviews that we've been doing over here lately, there just really hasn't been a time to get this one out. Since it's not time sensitive, it doesn't really have anything really contained within it that's, groundbreaking or anything. It's just a fun, real loose chat with Ming, mainly, and Mike. But if you've never been to a Comic-Con, they are very busy. Basically, people are at booths. People are constantly coming up to them, getting things signed, taking photos, and that is how these people make their money. And so trying to do an interview while that's happening is basically taking away from their money-making opportunities. So, as such, wasn't really able to get any interviews done. But, Ming and Mike were super nice and gave me some time and very much appreciated. So I figured I would just go ahead and get this out. So for those that want to hear it, there it is. I'm tired of seeing it on my computer. So without further ado, this is my conversation with Mike and Ming. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you on Sunday when we post our normal episode. So I had the pleasure of talking to Ming Chen here at the Astronomicon 2019. It's in full effect. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? I just, for those of you who don't know, Ming Chen, AMC's Comic Book Men, but more importantly, my friends, Michigan native, Ann Arbor native.
Yes.
I know you can't see this, but you come rolling in here with a hail, maize and blue.
I figure sports things are not very common here. I was the only person playing Madden upstairs, and then someone's like, I was thinking about asking you if you wanted someone to play with, but I saw the score was like 90-something to 3, and I was like, sorry, this is what I do. Everybody else is playing video games upstairs, and they're playing the things they play, and I was like, this is what I do in my home.
Yeah, well, this is what we do in Michigan. We don't let up, man. We play to the best of our ability, and
the final whistle.
Yeah.
So awesome. It's funny actually. You were talking about being here from Michigan. For those who may not have ever listened to Kevin Smith's podcast, where he always in the ads for actually a lot of the Squarespace and so forth is like they can be your Ming Chen and so forth. Are you surprised at how it seems? You were kind of ahead of the internet trend of coding and so forth, and being, big on message boards with View Askew Universe and so forth, and being ensconced in this culture so early on. Are you surprised to see how big it's gotten over the last, I'd say, 10, 15 years, really?
I don't know. I don't think I was surprised. Kevin, he found me when I was at the University of Michigan. I'd built a Clerks fan website, and he had the foresight to be like, hey, I want to, I love what you did. Can you expand on what you did? I just had a site all about the movie Clerks. Right. Photos, images, whatever. This is back in 1994, so it was pretty early on. But he saw it. He was like, "Hey, I think this is going to be big. I want a site that encompasses all of my movies." But what he really, the one thing he wanted that no one else was doing was he wanted a way to communicate with his fans. And he was like, "Hey, can you put up some kind of chat room or message board or something?" And that's what we did. And he was one of the first, high-profile people to actually communicate with people on the internet. Yeah, now, we got Twitter and Facebook. You can get blocked by the president of the United States now. It's pretty crazy.
I think most everyone is blocked by the president.
Yeah,
at
it's pretty
point.
crazy. I'm not surprised. I knew it would probably evolve into a forum where, just the barriers had come down. If you wanted to talk to someone of Kevin Smith's caliber before the internet, maybe you'd have to see maybe at a public event, go through agents, pay money. I don't know, but. Now, with the internet and now cons, you can see you can see real life Avengers, but you have to pay for it.
Right.
But you can actually, shake their hands and take a photo with them. Yeah, I love where it's going. I just love Kevin's always a step ahead of everybody else. So that goes with his use of the internet, and then podcasting. He was years ahead of everybody else. And who knows what else he's got up his sleeve.
We'll leave it you and Mike, who is actually here on the other side.
What's up? What's up, everybody? How we doing?
You guys have actually, done really good at getting a podcast of your own. And are you surprised to actually kind of see how podcasting has actually become a successful career field?
No, not really. Like Ming said before, Kevin saw it years ago. And I think we were just riding his coattails to a certain extent, and then we just sort of branched out on our own. So we were having, and to be honest with you, it's like the cheapest form of therapy you can have.
Oh my God, it was really weird. I did an interview the other day. I was not looking forward to doing it, and I had very low expectations. And then I think the weird thing happened was both the guest and I got really raw and open and honest, and it totally was unexpected. And it went from something I was not looking forward to something where it impacted me a few days later.
Oh hell yeah!
It's very weird in this medium. You know, something that I've kind of wondered about you as well. I see you guys are drinking Faygo. Being someone from the East Coast, what do you think of Faygo?
I love Faygo.
What is your favorite flavor?
Faygo, Rock and Rye is one of my favorites. I like Red Pop too. It's amazing.
Have you? I know in some of your traveling of doing cons, there are some bars here in Michigan called the Tin Can, and their specialty is doing other than canned beers.
Right.
Is they do Faygo shots.
That's great.
So,
I don't drink, but yeah, I make sure I go out when I go out bar hopping with Ming. It's usually to make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble. So, and you always need somebody to be the designated driver, and that's me.
What is with the show being canceled?
Wow, I love how people like with the show being awkward pause, canceled.
Well,
yeah.
The thing that's been interesting about it, and I think Kevin's kind of beaten it to death a little bit, is, you guys never really expected the show to be anything. So
No.
At this point, I think it was kind of serendipitous that it's like the one time where you're like, oh, we're going to get picked up, and then it's like,
Yeah.
we don't. What has been kind of the most interesting thing in that 7-season run that you really didn't expect, that you look back on and you're just like, wow, holy shit, I can't believe the show afforded us to have this happen?
Well, for me and Ming and Bri to go to cons, because I know Walt's not a big fan of it, but and to meet the people we meet and have the celebrities and have them treat us like equals, it's actually pretty cool.
Tagging Ming back
right.
in. So I was actually talking to Mike. What is your favorite Faygo flavor?
Oh man, it's gotta be Rock and Rye. Rock and Rye is the best flavor. It depends on the day. Some days I'm a Moon Mist guy,
Are you a fan of the really weird ancillary flavors like the cotton candy?
I am. I had the cotton candy for the first time last year, and I thought my teeth were gonna melt off.
Actually, this has become one of my new.
I love
favorites.
sugar. And somebody gave me the Arctic Frost or whatever this is. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's a watermelon pineapple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the brighter it is, they put more like corn syrup and yeah. But I think this stuff is gonna preserve my body, man. I'm gonna live longer because I drink Faygo.
What is the one thing from Michigan that you miss the most?
Oh man.
It's snow, right?
Yeah, of course. Man, there are many things I miss. Coney dogs, of course, like a really good, solid Coney dog, like the ones at Lafayette. I'm a Lafayette guy, for anybody wondering. Faygo, I think I'd have to go with Verner's, though.
Verner's?
Yeah, just some days you just need a Verner's, and if you can't get it, you go a little crazy.
Now, is it kind of funny? A lot of people, because I grew up in the Midwest initially, and I've lived out in the East Coast, and I've lived here in the Midwest now longer. But it's funny because, when you drink a Verner's or something like that, people are like, "Are you sick?"
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm drinking it because I want a ginger ale.
No, I'm drinking it recreationally. Yeah, Yeah, it's the cure-all though. If you have if you're sick, if your ass is exploding, like whatever, man, it'll cure it right away.
I asked this question to Mike. What's the one thing from Comic Book Man in the 7-year run that it did? What's the most amazing thing that you never expected to happen as a result of it? That
there are a couple of things. Getting into a rap battle with DMC from Run DMC was pretty unlikely. Stanley came in the store twice, not once, twice, which was pretty great. I got to race Black Beauty against the Batmobile with Adam West in the Batmobile. It's crazy. Just crazy. Like Jim Lee came in. Just a lot of heroes from past and present were in our store, which is crazy. I know Kevin owns it, but despite that, it's not like stars came in left and right, and especially people from our world. Like Springsteen I think he wandered in once. Bon Jovi's in the area, so he's been a couple times, which is great. But they're no Stan Lee, they're no Jim Lee, they're no Adam West. You know what I'm saying? So that was, these weird, unlikely scenarios, or just people coming in, is pretty awesome.
the thing I think that's pretty interesting about these cons, this is my first con ever,
Yeah. Oh, wow.
is just the cross-section of fandoms, that, like the Venn diagram you'll get between wrestling, horror, comics, and so forth.
Yeah, thank God, man. It's really great.
Through doing the cons, what's maybe an avenue, whether it be wrestling or something, that maybe you weren't as into, but because of your opportunities to do cons, you've gotten more
man,
into?
that's a great question. I didn't collect a lot of original art. The artists here, you can commission art for as low as $25 up and but up until like a Neil Adams commission will cost you a couple thousand, things like that. So it's kind of cool. You can literally have them draw whatever you want, and then if it's like a Neil Adams, like, hey man, can you draw me your Batman? And you can have a one of a kind Batman drawing by one of the guys who kind of shaped and created some of the best Batman art out there. That's a pretty cool opportunity. You can't, I think you can mail order that, but to actually, talk to the guy who created it and then come back like a day later and he's done and he kind of did it personally for you, I think that is pretty amazing.
I think it is pretty awesome. I've been kind of impressed with a lot of the different things that are available and offered to people here. I'm going to kind of wrap this up because it looks like the con is in full swing and you and Mike are getting busy.
I love
over
it.
here.
I just love this like background noise, man. It's so great.
Favorite thing from Michigan that you look forward to doing every single time? You have to do every single time you come here.
There are a couple things. Ann Arbor is a place called Zingerman's Deli that I always get a sandwich there. Yeah, always get a sandwich there. I always get a Coney dog. I try to go to Lafayette if I can. When I lived here, me and my brother would make 3 a.m. runs over to Lafayette and. And my parents were like, that's a bad neighborhood. I'm like, yeah, I know. See you later. Yeah, we would kind of run off. I stock up on soda and Better Made potato chips.
There you go.
And, I still have friends and family in the area. So, I love coming out. And then it's cool that, either Mike or Brian came last year, so I got to show them, like...
Are they just like, this isn't worth it? Like, Wawa is that thing for me. When people go back east, they're like, Wawa's kind of cool, but it's not as cool as you make it seem to be.
Yeah, no, they see the magic. I think Mike, you just can't...
Are you a fan of Coney dogs, Mike?
I love Coney dogs. Oh my God, I haven't been able to poop all weekend because I've been like jamming myself full of Coney dogs.
Yeah, Mike had to bust out his poop knife last night. He travels with it, and
I just heard of this.
I have a travel poop knife.
Yeah.
It's great. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding, folks. That would be gross. Can you imagine, like, going through customs? Like, sir, what is this? What are you using this for? It's like poop knife. And they're like, ah!
Yeah, it's plastic, so he's fine. It won't kill anybody.
Well, again, Mike and Ming, thank you very much for
course.
taking the time and enjoy the rest of your con and safe travels back home.
You too. Thanks so much.
Of course, go blue.